Hey there! I hope you're having a wonderful evening, day, whatever time it is, wherever you are while you're watching this. Now, today I thought I would get into a training method that I've been using for a very long time, since Naruto, and I've carried it into DragonBall Xenoverse 2. And the topic of that is isolation training. Isolation training is the method that I use to overcome many plateaus. It is isolating, basically prohibiting yourself from using one mechanic in the game, in this case stamina, and seeing how well you would do. Stamina is definitely important. In Xenoverse 1, I couldn't live without it. However, I decided that in Xenoverse 2, it was time to move on and put some points elsewhere so that I can have some room to get more creative with my build. And so that's exactly what you see me doing here, getting used to what I can do when stamina isn't there. Is stamina necessary? We'll get towards that more at the end of the video. You know, I remember the good old days in Xenoverse 1. Now I say good old days, but these days are pretty sweet too. Probably even more. Especially when back in Xenoverse 2, there was a lot about the game that I didn't know. I was only really good at vanishing out of opponents' attacks and using my stamina to escape. My method was to try to hit first, because as soon as someone begins to hit me without stamina, I was completely screwed, and I decided that it was time to change that. See, back in Xenoverse 1, I wasn't very good at the game, but by the time I got the hang of using stamina and the importance of it, I thought I had it all figured out. However, I couldn't have been more wrong. Going into Xenoverse 2, I thought the first thing I have to do is just jack up my stamina. And I see a lot of people, recommend using stamina. And while there's nothing wrong with that, it's very important not to become reliant on it. You see, by using isolation training, you can use the most used mechanics in a game. For example, in Naruto, it was substitution. Basically, in Naruto, if you run out of substitution, you were done for. However, I played a little bit. I rose to pretty high ranks, and what I found is that there are so many other ways that you can use to defend yourself, and I wanted to apply my knowledge from Naruto over to Dragon Ball, because not long ago I was really bad at Dragon Ball, and I suppose in some people's eyes I still am. Of course, there are no limits, and I have a long way to go therefore. So I encourage you to try and see what you can do without using stamina or something else, and challenge yourself. Try going against Ultra Instinct Goku if you have Ultra Instinct Goku, because he's probably the hardest person to fight, and see if you can win. How many hits do you take before you beat him? Up here on the screen you'll see my attempt going against Ultra Instinct Goku, and I very much encourage you to do the same. Now this was after a bit of practice. Going against blue form, I did okay, but I did have some failures too, which you saw with red, including me actually using stamina accidentally through habit. But this method is essentially going to help you to not rely on it as much, which gives you more build freedom. Is stamina necessary? Yes and no. While it isn't necessary to have stamina to win, it is necessary if you want to have some fun. So I encourage you, just get creative with what you got. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.